All right, hello. Why is this weird? Hello, good morning. Hello and good morning. Brian, hello. How are you? Pancakes. Pancakes, it's wonderful to see you, my friend. I hope you've been doing well. Hope you've been doing well. Sage. I have new hatred for the NFL. This time, it's personal. Herb, it's good to see you. Herb, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing all right. Herb, I noticed we are both involved in an upcoming charity thing, which is pretty cool. The NFL made me walk 3 miles out of my way to get to work. Yeah, jocks will fuck up your day. That's, you know, that's pretty standard. Jocks love to fuck up your day. I think it's a hate crime. I think that quantifies as a hate crime. Yeah, we should chat. See if there's anything we want to work on together. They wouldn't let me through the security checkpoint they promised us. Well, I'm guessing that then you had to like walk around the entire fucking rigmarole. Fuck yeah, trans rights. Carnation, hello. Carnation, good afternoon. Did you talk to your boss about that? Because that would be my first thing. I would be like, I would be right there. You know what I mean? I would be first thing. I'd be like, this isn't happening again. I'd be like, this is not. No. You brought someone to the supervisors helped you navigate. I would be all over it. I would be like, no, we're not. NFL promised something, they just didn't do it once they got what they wanted. Shocker. Yeah, like, oh, wow, weird. So unlike them. So unlike them. Green bean, hello. AKA every stadium deal. Well, that's not even the NFL, that's owners, but also fuck them.
And cares for all your sisters.
Right?
She has power.
That's just capitalists.
Beyond imagine. If there's danger, she surely has prepared us.
Where was I? The owners who collectively make up the NFL. Well, there's a separate body in charge, isn't there? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? You're gonna look at me, you're gonna tell me I'm wrong?
The all-mother, she shines.
My boss went to head to the casino about it. Somewhere is getting yelled at today. Well, that's, you know what? That's good. That's something to feel good about. There's, but if memory serves, owners have a literal stake in it. And
it feels very far from me.
So it's like, oh, there's a person in charge, but it's not. It's not like that. Okay. Well, I'm glad we've decided to structure everything to benefit the capitalists. But hello. Hello. How is everybody doing today? How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a good morning. Commissioner's very pro-owner. Well, yeah, he has to be. He probably gets a ton of he probably gets a ton of bribes and kickbacks and shit like that.
As warm as it had seemed to be, and it feels very far.
I had 15 minutes to make an hour. I had an hour to make a 15-minute walk. I ended up getting to work 20 minutes late. That's ridiculous.
It feels very far from me.
That is ridiculous. I hate that. All right. So yeah, hello. Hi, everybody. How is everybody? I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Today we're playing Titanium Court. Today we're playing Titanium Court from AP Thompson, published by Fellow Traveler. Thank you to Two Frogs in a Coat for the key. I appreciate y'all. I somehow beat the other person who drove because the traffic people kept sending him in circles. Oh yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds like maybe the only other bigger headache. But we're playing Titanium Court. I'm very excited. It's very funny. AP Thompson went from a name I didn't know at all to somebody that I am like 100% bought in on everything. I need to go back and play his last game, his previous game. And that's fine. And I think I have his previous game. Yeah. Fortune 499. I have it on itch. Oh no, I have it on Humble. It's a Humble original. Back how that works. How does that work? I don't know anymore. I don't remember. Don't ask too hard about it. Don't ask too hard about it. We're gonna dive right in. I did delete my save, and then I realized I was like, oh, I probably could have picked the save up. I was at a fine point, but you know what? It's fine. Sometimes you just got to start over. Sometimes you just got to start over. Let's double check our options here. Animated text is fine. Okay. It looks like sound capture is working great. No problem. No problems. A man steps on stage and taps a microphone. Good evening. Before we begin the game, there are a few announcements. First, due to unexpected circumstances, the part of the player will be performed by an understudy. A couple of audible groans and a muffled boo erupt from the audience. Now, there's no need for that. This kid may not be a star yet, but I've seen her rehearse. I can guarantee she'll impress you. She may not have time to memorize all of her lines, but, well, neither of any of you. The audience laughs. Second, we'd like to warn you that this production features a significant amount of obscenity. But, before all the parents in the audience begin covering their children's ears, know this. The stage is enchanted such that the obscenities can only be heard by those of sufficient emotional maturity to handle hearing them. And finally, the writing room would like to issue an apology for failing to complete the script before this performance. They're working on it as we speak, so it is my pleasure to announce tonight's performance is also a race. Who will win? The writers fiercely working to finish the script, or the performers attempting to perform it? I can't answer that question. All I can announce is that the race begins now. I appreciate that he has the flag ready to go. The casino apparently lost a ton of business too. First night parking was $250, so you dropped to $100 to match other lots, but no one wanted to come gamble. The fact that they overpriced the parking by that much means that they were not paying well enough attention to what was going on. Where should you start? You're walking through the woods when the world around you shattered. It was both alarming and inconvenient. Isolated on a lone stretch of ground, you were transfixed as the broken landscape began to rearrange itself. Your eyes followed trees and hills collapsing in lines of 3, as if the forest you knew were a knot becoming carefully untangled. You dared not move from your position as the ground beneath your feet quivered in anticipation of shattering further. Let me know if the game is too loud or anything like that. Pass the time this way for who knows how long. I mean, forever. Until the court slid into view. At first, you weren't sure you could trust your eyes, but there it was, a great shining structure among the roiling landscape. Something stable and enclosed. Shelter. You kept your eyes on it, hoping it would draw close enough that you might peer inside its windows. Surprisingly, the court appeared able to move freely between the broken landscape, disregarding lines of 3 as it approached your position. This is the game saying, hey, it can just... So today we're not charging, which means the parking lot's gonna be jam full, is free, and the regulars won't be able to park at all. Great job. Everybody's doing a great job over there. And as it came near, the shattered landscape lurched. With little warning, the forest snapped back together as if someone had pulled the knot of reality tight once again. Excuse me. Sounds like a great way for people to park there and then walk away for football. Except by now, it wasn't the forest you knew. It was hardly even a forest. You stood, stretched, began the hike towards the court. AP Thompson presents. Later, while the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. Hoping to avoid any attention, you sought out a more isolated part of the hall. An empty table near an exit, where no one would pay you much mind. A sound plan, except... The hall was soon overflowing with people, and your table was no exception. The young man seated to your right began engaging you in idle conversation. The weather, how you found the meal, the role of the individual in society, how you preferred to make your bed, these sorts of subjects. Eventually, he inquired about how you came to arrive at the court, which answers my question quite thoroughly while raising many more, he says as you conclude your tale. But forgive me, you haven't actually finished your story, have you? You admit there's a bit more, though you have yet to make sense of it. The people within the court were earnest but odd. After your arrival, you attempted to get some answers about your whereabouts and strange circumstances outside, except... They spoke mostly in riddles and nonsense, didn't they? They did. Said the man, "Whoa, pal, before you ask me any more questions, you gotta know my deal." My deal is that I can only answer questions you haven't asked. So as to where you are, no can do. Sorry, can't tell you. But what are we doing? Oh man, we're a court of fairies on a quest to find our missing queen. He looked at both sides and said, "So let me know if you see her, just don't ask me where she is." Next, hold on, are you seriously gonna tell me about every individual conversation you had in excruciating detail? Yes. Yes, you are, because if he lets you proceed uninterrupted, he'll learn many of these people played a part in what happened next. Fine, fine. A woman in a helmet doing her taxes? Hello. Said the woman, "I would love to tell you where we are, friend, but I haven't even figured out where we aren't." She gestured at a stack of maps on the table behind her. "We're not in any of those places. Or at least we weren't. Who knows if that's true now that the tide's come in." You attempted another tactic, hoping to glean some information. Perhaps she could at least tell you the name of this place. Oh, we just call it the court. Its full name is the Court of... I forget. It's something like the Court of Aluminum, but it starts with a T. The Court of Tungsten? I don't know, maybe. I'm new here, and I'm bad with names. But I can at least give you mine. I'm Robin. She held out her hand, which you shook as you introduced yourself. Now, if you excuse me, I should try to sort this out before the tide settles again. A small cat. Said a small cat. Meow. Ah, your questions are numerous but inconsequential, for they overlook the current crisis. Meow. What crisis? Why, the crisis wherein my dinner is late. Meow. It is so late, in fact, I am not certain the concept of dinner isn't something I invented in a fugue of hunger. Meow. All other societal issues are mere trivialities in comparison to my plight. Please, stranger, might you fill my bowl, thus ending this ravenous standoff? The one behind you laughed. Oh, don't listen to him. He's been fed twice today already. That's how it goes. Taluminium, yeah, taluminium court. You nailed it. It's like aluminum, but a T. Oh, yeah, taluminium. A pair in front of a blackboard discussing magic. Have a little more tea here. There appeared to be a seminar of some sort taking place in the courtyard. A seminar on magic, if you understood the text on the blackboard correctly. Okay, so first you take a metaphor and you stretch it really thin, right? Right. Like really thin. So thin you forget its original purpose. And then you inflate it. Right, just inflate the metaphor. I prefer to use my lungs for that. Then as it's inflating, you twist it like, hang on, like so. You still following? I think so. And hold on. Ah, there. It now resembles a dog, a delight for children and such. Okay, so what happened to the metaphor? It's a lovely little dog balloon now. I see. They seemed a bit busy, so you left them to it. Well, let's just look at the walls. Finding no immediate answers inside the court, you moved to the top of the walls and looked outward. Perhaps there was something you could see from this vantage that would shed more light on your situation. To the contrary, conditions outside the walls were even stranger than they were at the time of your arrival. The rest of the shattered landscape had now melted away. The court stood alone. The court still alone amid a void. We're just chilling, but not for long. Like a rush of water, new surroundings began to surround. Much of the new topography was familiar to you. You could identify fields, water, woods, and hills. But there was something else to see. A menacing group of other courts were also part of the landscape. You were not alone in noticing these. Someone shouted, "The war! The war is here!" Someone else, "It can't be. Puck said no wars till we find the queen." Then perhaps she should explain that to them. Surrounded by the enemy on all sides and bereft of an obvious course of action, the people of the court began to pray. A man stepped forward and offered the first prayer. "I generally wish no harm upon our enemy. I merely pray they would fade into obscurity." Wow, I didn't expect that to work, but thanks. The woman named Robin offered the next prayer. "My notes are quite clear on this. Prayer does not work. Our time is much better spent steering the court. Remember, their soldiers can't cross water. We should try to take shelter behind a moat until the tide comes in." There. Now that river protects us from nearly half of the field. Hills should slow their advance, so for my next prayer, but the next prayer did not belong to Robin. The next prayer belonged to the cat. Meow! So long as we are making demands of God, then my wish as ever is to be fed. Psst, hey, you probably didn't notice something happened over here. What happened is, by matching fields, the court has acquired more food. Similarly, other parts of the battlefield can be matched to earn water, wood, or stone. None of the fairies in the court will tell you this. Their religion forbids them from acknowledging the existence of The user interface. But I'm a secular tooltip. I fear no god. I'll do my best to provide you with vital information. You're welcome. Brr. Yes, more of that, please. Whoops. Robin then bemoaned the loss of the moat. We face even more of the enemy than before. Why do I bother? The scholars at the blackboard now chimed in. We've identified the most strategically sound location. That spot right there. You steer over there carefully, we should be fine. Robin interjected. Stop! Look at the clock, it's almost low tide. We only have time left for one more move. Hello again. The clock and time left that Robin alludes to is in fact this unassuming progress bar at the edge of your vision. Much like life, every move you make will dictate some of your remaining time. We only have one prayer left, which we ask for. We may as well pray for a miracle. Well, it's a start. Apologies, another explanation from me, your humble tooltip is in order. The previous move chained multiple matches together. Because of this, you've earned some bonus time. For the fairies of the court, this might as well have been a miracle. Is there any chance we can do that again, whatever it is? There was no such chance. The next prayer would be the last one. Incidentally, the next prayer also belonged to you. Unsure of what any of this really meant, you imitated the people around you and made a pointless decision. Battlefield snapped together as the court snapped to attention. Places, everyone! Windows were shuttered, doors were slammed, throngs of people emerged from inside and formed a line near the gates. A tap on your shoulder. One of the scholars. We could use some help in the dressing room if you have a free hand. Along with the scholars, introduced to you as Hop and Skip, you sorted through a large pile of costumes, props, and weapons. D, hello. D, how are you? Check the tag on that, would you? Make sure I put it together properly. I hope you're having a good morning. I hope you're having a good Friday. If it looks correct, feel free to hand it out. Handled the bundle of farmer's apparel with the first person in line. Unperturbed by the idea of harvesting wheat in the middle of the battle, they whistled as they marched out the front gate. Hope you're having a great day. Looking to try to get some last minute requests done. I was at blah this morning, but I'm doing my best. No worries. No worries, D. Please do what you gotta do. I know you said you got some work stuff. You just started the game. Holgast, hello. I did play the demo, but I restarted for the full game, as I generally do. So I'm a little familiar with what we're doing. But yeah, we restarted. But yeah, welcome on in. How you doing today? Deploy another farmer. Let's see if this one fits anybody. You handed a bundle of armor and weapons to the next person in line. She tested the weight of a weapon in her hand. I haven't received any training, so I'm just planning to hit anything that doesn't belong to us. You know, that's pretty much how war works anyway, so. After this minimal preparation, the scholars considered their work finished. I'd place our chances of survival somewhere near abysmal, but I'm afraid this is the best we can do. A small mercy, at least, that the queen isn't here to witness this. As you waited for the others, you waited with the others for the battle to commence. Hello, I must press you one more time. The undo button. Use it to change your mind as many times as you wish. However, the official editorial position of this tooltip is that you are liable to lose no matter how many times you change your mind presently. When you're ready to lose, press the play button. Well, all right. I don't know. Am I ready to lose? I guess. You know what? Lose. Fail quick, fail often, right? If I'm gonna lose, let's just get through it. Yeah, it's not going well. Okay. Yeah, that's how I feel. Okay. But whole guys, thank you for stopping in. I hope you're having a good morning. And then, sometime later, where dead 3. As the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. The man to your right is beside himself with laughter. Okay, so our court caught off guard by a sudden war, stumbled behind enemy lines, made a token attempt at resistance, and was summarily toppled. Do I have that right? Just had dinner, did a couple hours of this game beforehand. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Hope you had a good dinner. Hope you had a good dinner. That does appear to be an accurate summary. Well, then I'm certainly glad I slept through that. As you look at your surroundings, a switch flips in your mind. Your own story makes a little sense now that you think of it. How did your companion patch your arm? Don't worry about it. If the court couldn't withstand physical destruction, we wouldn't last 5 minutes in the pull of the tide. But enough of that. It's about time I made some introductions. As you've narrowly avoided learning, this place is called Titanium Court. Meanwhile, I have the honor of being the steward of the court. My name is Puck, although my lovers and enemies call me Goodfellow. Interested to see the voices people do for these characters. I like to do voices sometimes, but we've been doing a lot of Persona 5, so I've been doing a lot of talking. So it's gonna be a lot of just kind of sounding like myself. As fancy as that sounds, in practice it means he's unemployed. One of the scholars, the man named Hop, has approached your table. He appears to have had a drink or 2, or 4. Pulls up a seat between the two of you and assumes a jovial attitude. Guess the queen stood us up, eh, good fellow? Lucky for her, I'd say. I'd skip town too if I knew what a sorry showing the court would be. Slashing, hello. Slashing, good morning. I have no idea how streamers can do full playthroughs of these games with voice acting. Must murder the throat. No shame, you, Matt. We like you just as you are. Listen, if you're real nice, D, you're gonna get timed out. So you watch yourself. But on the plus side, we can continue draining her wine cellar. Are you gonna help me with that, good fellow, or are you just going to stare at me? I don't mind either way. Puck, staring at the scholar, mouth agape, slowly inhales and pinches his nose. What fools these? How drunk are you, Hop? The queen is right here. I've been speaking to her for the entire feast. An excited hush falls over the entire hall. Hop blinks, looks at you, looks at Puck, turns bright red. Oh, huh, I see it now. That calls for Her Majesty's finest vintage. I'll be right back. As Hop makes a quick exit, you look steadily at Puck and shake your head. There's no use denying it now, not after the tale you just told me. If you'd like more proof, just take a look at where you're seated. You slowly take in your surroundings. Oh. Puck smiles. Now, if I may conclude my introductions, let me present the court to your majesty. And likewise. He stands up and addresses the entire hall as he says, long absent, the queen of Titanium Court, always a stranger, has arrived. Cheers erupt and dessert is served. Ska band. Are we the queen? It would seem that way. To your left, Hop returns with an armful of glasses and bottles. And about time too, good fellow. Did you tell her about the war yet? Chapter 1. A place beloved only of clowns and criminals. I can say it. I can read. And then, just a short while after the feast, the court returns to war. You're in charge of the war now, Your Majesty. You should be fine. Just remember everything we've taught you about magical warfare. Blinking slowly, you remember that in this exact moment, they've taught you roughly nothing of magical warfare. Oh, good. She remembers quite clearly. Brag on your ability to read. Rude. All right. So the first trick. Excuse me. Just ignore that I'm in 2 book clubs. Well, yeah, you're in book clubs, but you don't read. You just... That's all the book clubs don't read. They review the book. They're like, ah, this binding is so nice. These images are so enjoyable. I think the author's kind of cute. You can't tell me there's 3 men with trumpets and 2 with trombones wearing suits and it's not a ska band. Sure, I have complained about the barcode placement many times. They decided to split up. They decided to go their separate ways. Well, having now achieved some kind of victory in the war, you wonder if someone in the court might help you return home. It would be our pleasure if you can show us the way. And also, that was only one battle. There are many more to come if my notes are to be trusted. Well, okay. If you can understand this map correctly, if it even is a map, there appears to be some sort of signage just ahead. Perhaps if you can reach those signs, you'll learn more about where you actually are, along with how to get home. To reach them, we need merely be swept forward by the tide as we have been all along. Convenient. Okay. Got a storage unit. Failed. Failed, good morning. Failed, happy Friday. Oop. Okay. I don't... Yeah, they are going to be able to get to me. Quite curious about what you might find inside the storage unit, but it's locked. I hope everybody's having a good Friday. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Doing well, looking forward to the weekend. Hell yeah, what's going on this weekend? Okay, you're letting them attack the castle. You're letting them... Okay. I think that's a different guy. I think the guy that protects the castle is a different guy. Holy shit. Pumpkin. I believe Aaron and I are gonna go out for Independent Bookshop Day, which is exciting. Okay. Lemonade Bookshop. Yeah. I was like, do you want to go to Independent Bookshop Day or do you want to go to our book outlet? And she's like, well, if we go to the book outlet, we'll just spend more money on books. And I was like, yeah, but that was kind of my idea. It was kind of what I figured we would do, so. That was the plan. Yeah, like that's why I suggested it. Like, she was like, if we go to the book outlet, you're just gonna get those Witcher books that you've wanted to pick up. And I was like, I don't know what the problem with the plan is. A menacing birdcage suddenly appears in front of the court. Your Majesty, I have notes on this foe. Let me know if you'd like to see them. Yeah, what the fuck are you? Robin has notes on how the birdcage behaves in battle. Right, well, here's what my notes say. At the start of low tide, the birdcage will flood its surroundings with water. Following that, the birdcage will attack the court with birds. Fighting it may prove tricky. If it's always surrounded by water, the court's soldiers will be unable to reach it. I wonder if there's another approach the court could take. Either way, you thank Robin for the information. I mean, I have to get over to it, right? It's just making a bunch of birds. Oh, now. Oh, there's a chest. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. I mean, let's open this chest before we get... Oh, a bird. A bird of our own. I can make two. Great, good, perfect. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Wow. Okay. It's fine. With time and repetition comes comfort. You feel your maximum level of comfort increase to 1. Okay. The next morning, you awake in a strange bed. The bed is so strange not just because it is not your usual bed, but because it is also not the bed you fell asleep in. Puck told you any room within the court might be the Queen's, so you parted with him at the first room you found that wasn't already occupied. A small chamber beneath a staircase, a twin-sized bed, neighbored by a nightstand and a lamp, a small desk in the corner, no windows. Meanwhile, the bed you awake in is queen-sized and contained within a spacious chamber that opens onto a balcony. Yeah, that's what he meant by it could be the Queen's. That's how, come on, guys, it's fairies. The balcony overlooks the courtyard of your new home. You appear to be roughly 5 stories above the ground. You look over the scant possessions that were in your purse when you arrived at the court. Everything appears to be where you left it, with one irritating exception. Some time between your arrival and now, you've misplaced your keys. In a way, you suppose you also managed to misplace the locks those keys were intended for. A mystery admittedly of much greater concern to you than the missing keys. A man named Puck is just across the courtyard. Perfect. You have many things you wish to ask of him. Yet as you draw near, he quickly exits the scene. You might be imagining it, but he seemed to retreat the moment he saw you approach. In the light of the day, the feasting hall more closely resembles a common dining area. You collect some breakfast from a buffet, then look for a table. You would prefer to sit somewhere out of the way, near an exit, ideally hidden. You sit in the most nondescript location you can find, a corner near a trash bin. Before you finish a bite, a whole host of fairy courtiers arrive with their meals and sit with you. Make idle conversation, a few honest attempts at answering your myriad of questions, none of them successful. As you complete your meal, you idly note your table is now the most lively and boisterous table within the hall. You also note, idly, that despite his assurances that he would answer all of your questions, the man called Puck remains nowhere to be seen. As a result of eating breakfast, you get a small bonus. Great. You gotta eat breakfast. What have I told y'all? There are a few dogs catching frisbees in the courtyard just out of frame. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Neat. What do you want to do, Matt? You want to go to war? Do you want to look out the window? Just look out the window forever. Just like, oh man, can I just look at these dogs forever? Like,
is that a dog? Is that a dog?
You don't know what any of this means. I like that. Look at the map. All right. After breakfast, not trying to say too much. Are you sitting U.S. president right now with 2 options in his brain? After breakfast, the court goes to war. Your Majesty, is the intensity of the war to your liking? If not, feel free to adjust the thermostat. The thermostat. Maybe make things a little easier on yourself. See, I do really like this system. I really like this comfort system, where I can say, you know what I struggled with that last game? Robin can give you a detailed analysis of the battlefield. I'm curious what that is. I've been looking for that. I'm curious what that does. Despite falling short of them yesterday, you're confident you can reach those signs today. Very good. Her Majesty's loyalty to this approach is quite admirable. How steadfast. Okay, so what does this do? There aren't any environmental hazards in the court that I can see. As for the enemy castles, those are empty, so you don't need to worry about them. Say the court is pretty safe. If we wish to maintain this position, we could move the court around without disturbing the rest of the battlefield until low tide arrives. Okay. Okay. So she'll like, she'll take a look at stuff, which is, okay, which, you know what, can be helpful. Can be helpful. That sort of extra information sometimes is all you need. Okay, so I don't get anything when I match empty buildings. So that's a thing to keep in mind. Driller, working defensive ferries. Gather stone from hills. Defend your court. Money. Great. Let's just deploy some farmers. Because it's safe. Music is banging. These farmers are working hard, let me tell you. Okay. What's up with this, these ones are deploying units. No. Okay. I'm really curious about this pumpkin. You know? You ever been curious about a pumpkin? Ah, a store. Before you can proceed, the voice on the line stops you and asks if you understand how money works. Do you understand how money works? The voice sounds skeptical. Really? A lot of people think they understand money when they're actually operating under some misconceptions. If you're so confident, how about you tell me where money comes from? Do you know where money comes from? Of course you know where money comes from. You've observed that unlike resources, money simply does not materialize. Instead, the court earns money by defeating the enemy on the battlefield. Okay. It comes from trees, yeah, obviously. You really know your stuff. Sorry for putting you through the ringer. Just for reference, you could also earn money by selling your stuff, maybe to us, but I'm not gonna quibble. What do we got? A barracks, sidestep, knight, an archer, trade wood at market price. Okay. I'm so curious about what that does. Oh geez, okay, yeah, get rid of y'all. Okay, let's do the shop before we forget. Get an archer. All right. We only have that one to worry about. See if we can get some stone. Okay, we do get money for taking out empty castles. So great. Is that a billboard in the middle of the battlefield? It's true. There appears to be a billboard of some sort among the scattered elements of the terrain. You go to the outer walls of the court to get a better look. You need law, says Robin. That thing gives me the creeps, Your Majesty, as if we're about to be sued just by looking at it. You agree, it might be best to look away lest you draw some unwanted legal attention. I guess? I need wood. Another structure wades into view. You suppose this is another... Look, Your Majesty, a temple of market! Should you wish to pay your respects, you need only stay in view until low tide, correct? Correct, your brilliance continues to blind! Okay. I'm glad all these guys like me so much. It's fun, you know? Okay. So we can buy... I think we're gonna make... Okay, I can make 2 warriors, so I'm going to. I would have made an archer, but... and I'm not gonna make any farmers because I have a ton of food, and that's just unnecessary. I would have doubled up, you know? What's this? This keeps... Monarch. Offensive job. Turn property damage into profit. Earn money when you destroy buildings. Oh. So this, okay, so, so that could change. And now the court finds itself surrounded by catapults. To be perfectly precise, those appear to be trebuchets. This is Brian. Given that trebuchets are a subcategory of catapult, you don't see any reason why you can't just call them catapults. Very well, my queen, I retreat in the face of your overflowing wisdom. Oh, shit, okay. Strange building comes into view. As you observe it, the phone in your office rings. Ahoy, ahoy. Hey, Titanium Court, your majesty, I'm calling from the glass house. Yeah, we sell potions. As your name suggests, we firmly oppose the act of throwing stones in any all forms. Therefore, we'd like to offer your support to Titanium Court to your campaign against these stone-throwing trebuchets. To start, here's a pro tip, free of charge. Hills will block the projectiles. Just surround your court with hills, you'll be safe. If it doesn't work, we sell a variety of instant-use potions that'll help you deal with this threat. Give us a call. Well, isn't that convenient that he shows up on the same day we're dealing with trebuchets? You explained it was a telemarketer, albeit one whose pitch was actually useful. Wow, rare. Think. Yeah. I was like, if we draw. Okay. Hey, things didn't go as planned. Hey, look, there's some things we fundamentally can't change in the mountains. Hands are tied, sorry. Okay. Okay. Kira, hello. That should hit. That should hit. That should hit. You had other things. What's this? Set something on fire? Potion of teleport. I've been around as much as usual due to reasons of sleep as fuck. I know. You said the other day you weren't doing that great. And I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry to hear that. There's nothing we can do about the one, but oh. Oh, that does a lot. Oh, it took out the mountain. Oh, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that to happen. I didn't. Okay, I didn't. Okay. For a short period of time after the court wakes each morning, it drifts through the tide alone, free from its relentless obligations to the battlefield. You found this time useful for exploring your surroundings. I could use a shower, yeah. This is like Death Stranding. To your mild surprise, the shower, nay, the whole bathroom attached to your chamber is, to put it diplomatically, a bit shabby. Unlike the rest of your chambers, those which continue to stretch and grow with the size of your station, the bathroom remains small and intimate. If you're feeling less charitable, you might refer to it as claustrophobic. Also, the room is clearly built into the underside of a staircase. Various thumps and falls from above the ceiling provide ample evidence that this staircase is worth traveling. You aren't complaining. You consider a miraculous blessing that a fairy court outfitted with trappings of medieval Europe would also have functional modern property. Turn on the water and test it with your hand. Despite the shower's appearance, the temperature is consistently warm. The water pressure is high. Just a completely normal, non-magical shower. Mediocre, even. You suspect it would be a good reminder of what your life was like prior to absconding with a cohort of fairies. As you step inside and close the sliding door, you quickly retract the previous statement. The high-pressure water, subtle ringing noise produced by the shower head, the echoes of the footsteps from the ceiling, all combine to create a cacophonous cocoon of sound and steam. If anything, the shower is perhaps the most magical object you've encountered in the court thus far. You let your mind drift for a while. You go over the short list of things you've learned about the court in the time since your arrival. Excuse me. 1. Titanium Court is a royal fairy court, a place bound by ancient magic to withstand the tide, whatever that is. 2. Magic totally exists, by the way. 3. So do fairies, just so we're clear. 4. You are, however, not a fairy. As a person who's lived a decidedly non-magical life up until this point, you are instead a mortal. 5. Yet, somehow, your mortal status did not disqualify you from being crowned Queen of the Fairies. In fact, as far as you can tell, nothing will disqualify you from this royal office, not even your own opposition to holding it. Yeah, that's... As loath as you are to leave, you think you've spent enough time in the shower. There's Puck again, just down the hall. He does not appear to have noticed you yet. You're certain that if he had, he would have already made a hasty exit. Now it might be a good time to follow him and observe him for yourself what duties your steward is performing in lieu of offering you guidance. Okay, this is getting a little tedious. Fortunately, you can click and hold the left mouse button. Izumi, thank you for the raid. How the heck are you? I had to remember how anything in OBS looked. Izumi, hello. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing? How are you doing today? My throat is all kinds of messed up. Let me have a little more tea. I'm sorry. Izumi, what were you getting up to? You're playing The Walking Dead, the Telltale game? The Telltale game? Just finished, a little emotional, like the whole thing? You finished the whole shebang? That's fantastic. I never finished that game. I finished season 1, all 4 seasons. Wow. I finished season 1 when it was new. And they came out with the DLC, and I think I did one of the DLCs, and then season 2 came out, and I just kind of didn't go back to it in a really funny way. I was just like, How did you like it? How do you feel about it? I hope you had a good time. But hi everybody, if you don't know me already, my name is mattcaulder. I'm a queer streamer and podcaster here on Twitch. I stream all kinds of different stuff, indie games, retro games, stuff chosen by the community. I also host a podcast called What You Doing, where I interview cool people about the amazing stuff they're working on. I have a new episode coming out later today where I interview Austin Walker about his new TTRPG Realis. his time GMing Friends of the Table, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm really excited to get that episode out. That was really, really exciting. Today we're checking out Titanium Court, the new game from AP Thompson and fellow Traveler. Thanks to Two Frogs in a Coat that sent me the key. Thanks so much. We're really just getting started, which is cool. This game is really, really cool. I'm excited to dig in more. It's a game I'd replay in the future. Yeah, it's hard sometimes to go back to stuff, but I think if people got excited about it, I'd be happy to. Here's a part of the court you hadn't yet discovered. A vast library extends before you. Wait, you suddenly realized with some annoyance that while you were gaping at the scenery, Puck managed to slip out of your sight. He slipped behind a bookcase, did he not? Maybe you can figure out too. Yeah, listen, Blue Skidoo, we can too. It won't budge when you attempt to move it. You try removing a random selection of books from the shelves, but it also has no effect. This is a waste of time. You're not even sure this is the right shelf. Fine. Puck, you tricky bugger. How do you interpret this one? A fantasy of revenge. The subject is smashing his guitar, most probably out of a seething hatred for rock and roll. I think you misunderstand. I've heard it said that the smashing represents his fervent passion for rock and roll. And how can that be? With his guitar smashed, surely he'll find it difficult to participate in the day-to-day proceedings of rock and roll. You interject to suggest the subject likely has another guitar at the ready, that the smashing might represent both his passion and his wealth of guitars. His Majesty's theory is compelling, but the evidence is circumstantial. After all, this theoretical second guitar is not featured in the painting. How can we be sure it exists? Perhaps the artist painted it somewhere in that negative space I've heard so much about. I suppose we need to keep an eye out for it. Okay. Let's have breakfast. You know, vehicular theory is not so ridiculous when you consider the car to be mostly metaphor. But for what? What would such an outlandish and inconsistent set of myths possibly be a metaphor for? Perhaps the psychological armor we construct around our true selves? All for the conveyance of the soul to greater stages of enlightenment? It's not too hard to imagine. But aren't cars also allegedly beasts that devour naughty children who do not look both ways? I never said it was a perfect metaphor. 10 water. Great. I could consult the map, but like, you know, what am I gonna do about it? In the war with an extra 10 HP, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay. We've got no enemies. Now, if anything, what I want to do here, I want to consider these empty buildings a profit opportunity. Right? A profittunity, sure. If we were selling a self-help book about it. Ah, fuck! Empty buildings are a profit opportunity the sub-landlord has thinking. Lumberjack, okay, okay. Gunboat. Offensive rock attacks the enemy via water. Yeah, we got a lot of water, so let's spend that on farmers. Okay. Okay. I feel good about that one. Okay, we've got a shop. Get rid of those. Hell yeah. Do we think I need to be... Okay. Let's see how these guys do. Oh, I forgot to check the store. Butts. I forget to check the store. Okay, so they put it in the water. Okay. I forgot to check the store. I'm annoyed. Oh God. Some of the text is small, but it reads, "The desire for a taco is universal." What a bold claim. Does Your Majesty agree? Yes. To be honest, you could really go for a taco right now. There's insufficient proof for the universality of such a desire. Yes, that's what you were about to suggest. As such, the billboard's claim remains unproven, but also unrefuted. I still have leftover taco meat in the fridge. Guess who's getting one for lunch? Is it me? Are you bringing me a taco? This battle is not going as planned. And if the USA wouldn't crucify me for being my authentic self, I'd come down there and cook you an Aaron tacos. I would love that, D. The court once again finds itself surrounded by catapults. Okay. my God. Okay, the big thing is I want to make sure they're hitting different ones. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that into a mountain, which should... Oh, it doesn't act... Oh. All right, here we go. Heaven or hell. Amazing. Amazing. Awesome boy, hello. The catapults continue their assault, although you note there are slightly few of them hanging around. What do you mean? Every time you do a match, it saves. That's terrifying. Okay, the only one I'm worried about. Okay, that hits that one. That hits that one. That hits that one. And it's that one. Okay, I think we're okay. Yeah, these are hitting a lot of different rocks. Do I have to leave? The music is stressing you out? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry, Kira. Okay. Okay. Progress. The tide washes away the last of the catapults. You appear to have weathered the storm. The threat of the catapults now eliminated. The glass house pulls up next to the court, and you receive yet another phone call. The salesman offers congratulations for your victory and asks if there are any further assistance he might provide. You answer immediately, asking if he knows a way for you to return home. Oh, definitely. Let's pull over somewhere. I'll draw you a map. Let's pull over. Salesman shows you the map and explains the directions. Okay, so you've seen this before, right? You have, but no one thus far has offered an explanation for any of it. You assumed it was some sort of map. It kind of is, but it changes every day, so I'd say it's really more of a weather report. But it's pretty simple. Each of these rows is a battle. Within a given row, each column is a battlefield. Do you follow? No, you don't. I do. Yeah, you'll figure it out. More importantly, did you know you can choose from 3 potential battlefields before each battle? No, you did not know that. Anyway, here's where you're at right now, smack in the middle of the war. Get home, you're first going to have to make it to victory, which is right up here. Before or after the dragon? After. Of course. But making it to the end isn't enough. After that, you need to you'll need to make an exit. Make an exit. Given the abstract nature of movement between through the tide, would you be willing to elaborate on this? Oh, right, it's confusing, right? These rites were conjured back in the 60s. Everyone was hopped up on an allegory or something. Around here, making an exit means you got to consciously leave the path you're on. You know, you have to fundamentally change as a person. Okay. This might be a long shot, but does he have any specific advice on how you might do that? Specifically, preferably in a safe and non-traumatizing way? Do I ever? Your Majesty, that's our specialty. He sweeps his arm back to reveal a shelf of bottles under a marquee that reads, Love Potions. Is he attempting to make a joke? Not at all. Nothing changes a person more than love. Okay, you take a deep breath. His love potions functions like those described in the stories, i.e., force an individual to fall in love with the person they otherwise have no interest in, and you absolutely have no interest in them. Your Majesty, with all due respect, that's messed up. I don't sell anything like that. I've been hearing some weird rumors, huh? Let me set the record straight. My potions cannot create love from nothing. They merely expand the love that already exists within you. Seeing your shoulders relax a bit, he continues with his pitch. Now, if you're new to love potions, I definitely recommend taking something small. He pulls a potion off the shelf, like this one, full of love for something called baseball. This one's great for beginners. The effects are really mild. Drink it, and you'll end up liking this baseball just a bit more than you already do. That's it. You suppose that does sound relatively harmless. If he also thinks it'll help you return home, you may as well give it a try. Perfect. Ah, come on, put your wallet away. I'm not going to charge you just for this. Take it. And so you return to the court with a new map of the war and a single complimentary potion of liking baseball. So now you have a certain idea of what you're looking at here. Based on what the salesman told you, this is either a map or a weather report. Either way, the important thing is that you can choose which battlefield to traverse. So excuse me. Enemies that are goons? Yeah, just regular guys, goons. You know. Oh God. Oh, signpost. Oh, I know this one. This is a memento mori. I hear they're popular among mortals. This one's quite simple, perhaps even unrefined. It says dead end. So any mortal who reads it can remember exactly what it rates them at the end. In case they forgot. Exactly. You deem it unnecessary to offer any correction. Love the narration and NPCs in this. It's so much of the character and why this game is interesting. Okay, you could have put one over here. You know, you could have. Okay. Hills has rare chests, has wormholes. Enemy boats. I don't want to deal with enemy boats. Do I have archer? No. So we're gonna go in here. I got so much money. Can I? No, I don't have. Okay. Oh no. Oh God, you died so fast. Okay. Okay. Just don't die. No, double up. Double up. Get your buddy. Call your buddy. Thank you. As the court moves motionally across the void, it suddenly encounters a neighbor. Your courtiers cry out in alarm. You spy a great dragon soaring above his lair in the distance. The legendary apex predator opens his mouth and addresses the court. Here is what he says. Hey, can I get hang on, let me look at the menu. He sweeps his gaze over the court, doubling back when he catches sight of you atop its walls. Oh man, all the Fairy Queen combo meal? No pickles. Centaurs? Okay. Slightly different hill has made an appearance on the battlefield. Hate to ask, but those are definitely volcanoes, aren't they? Yes, Your Majesty. When those volcanoes erupt, their surroundings will take 6 hearts and burst into flames. That includes diagonal neighbors. Also, you can see when the volcano will erupt over here. Volcanoes actually match with standard hills for some reason. This life-saving information imparted, I take my leave again. Okay. So what I'm hearing is maybe perhaps the dragon can be bribed to leave you alone. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make that happen. It's a fun idea. I like where your head's at. Dragon's first priority is to cook every fairy we send into the field. Once all our units are cooked, he'll turn his attention to the court itself. If we can find a way to spread our units far and wide, we might be able to withstand his assault. Or we can try to keep our units on hills or water where fire is less effective. Well, fuck me. Still in danger of catching fire from neighboring hill. Okay, what do we got here at the shop? All hills become forests. I want like the opposite of that. All right, fuck it. It's gonna go how it's gonna go. Oh God, that's right, the volcano. I forgot about the volcano. Now wait, we might survive. Your couriers continue expressing alarm as the Dragon Slayer is somehow able to pursue the court into high tide. Hang on, I wasn't done with my order yet, says Robin tentatively. I'm sure it can't keep up with us forever. Okay, so notice the battlefield is littered with a bunch of, what are those, wormholes? Not sure what to call them, Your Majesty, but those things are bad news. They seem, the tide seems to group them with the enemy castle, but they never disappear when matched. They merge with their neighbors, retaining every soldier the neighbor possesses. Prayer actually worked. I'd pray we don't see them grow. They remain harmless as long as they're empty. Fuck. Okay, so I think what I need to do is get a button. Okay. Raise your entire row. That's incredible. This is so definitionally not going to happen, but oh my, one of them hit the dragon and that was very funny. Oh, okay. And now a brief recollection of your first experience bathing in Dragonfire. For context, there are two fun facts about Dragonfire which will distinguish it from run-of-the-mill fire. Fact one, while it does consume fuel and radiate intense heat, Dragonfire does not produce any smoke. How odd. Fact two, Dragonfire is loud, which is to say it's noisy, which is to say it literally screams as it burns. So as to your experience, you remember intensely sweating in the heat and noise. Instantly sweating. Remember pushing your way through a throng of your courtiers, all of them moving strangely as if caught in a dance. You remember searching desperately for an exit. An exit you found eventually through some miracle. Bursting through a pair of double doors into the brisk autumn night, you were finally able to catch your breath. It's in this calm place, with the heat of the noise and massive bodies just behind you, that someone offered you a light. You suspect that light is most likely what kept you alive. Get a job. You've unlocked the alluring and self-destruction Light of Youth. Equip it in your office. Okay. You wake up and immediately wish to return to sleep. Your head pounds. What did you do to your neck? What did you do to your throat? What did you do to your skin? What did you do last night? After considering this question for a few seconds, you remember the dragon fire. Yeah, okay, you survived, sort of. It's too early. All of this is too early. With intense amount of concentration, you will your body to the edge of the bed. You're certain you'll feel better after you get up, take a shower, maybe have some coffee. You just had to actually get up. Ugh. Okay. Here we go. All right. With incredible effort, you managed to get out of bed. Hell yeah. Thank you, Ska Band. So let's go back to the office. In the time since you last went to war, a new job has been made available to the court, specifically the youth job. Offensive job, receive money for letting it burn. Earn money when you burn any tile on the battlefield. Oh, it changes my starting units. If I can just burn something, I have lumberjacks to gather wood, and then I can get water to remove fire. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna stay with this, but that's... Let's have some breakfast. There we go. Let's go to the library, because there's a bunch of books in the library. There's some principle of organization by which the books in this library are arranged. You're unaware. True crime novels sit next to self-help treatises, which sit next to compilations of syndicated newspaper comics. Shelves are stacked with playbills from amateur theatrical productions, maps of amusement parks, and brochures from defunct tourist traps. There even appears to be a whole row of shelves devoted to graded essays written by middle school students. If you were to find any information of value here, it requires a significant amount of dedication and time. Time that, unfortunately, you do not possess. After all, you already have plenty of things to do. All right, well, you know, listen, I thought it was a good idea. You've yet to drink from the potion of liking baseball. One reason for that is your natural trepidation towards something that will be, that you've been assured will change you. Another reason is the potion's instructions clearly state that for best result, you should leave the potion in direct sunlight until it bubbles. While it's been sitting in your office collecting sunlight from the window since you brought it back, it is yet to start bubbling. You organize this list and place it next to the ever-changing map for convenience. Use the youth job in battle. Well, that does a thing, so that's saying I should do a thing, so let's do it. You sit on the throne of your office and, for the first time since your arrival, you relax. In response, you feel the court change in appearance and character. I wonder what these changes might mean for the war. I'm glad you asked. First, your starting cards have changed. In particular, this card is essential to your new job. What do you mean by new job? Have a look over here. Your new job is to watch the world burn. Instead of earning money by destroying enemy castles, you earn money anytime a tile burns down. Any tile, not just castles. And one more thing, while using this job, you're immune to fire. That's it, good luck. All right, hey, listen, let's... Yeah, more HP. Okay. There's a vending machine. Okay, so... Do reeds give you bread. Okay. Oh. Well, you notice with some satisfaction, the court has acquired a considerable amount of wealth during this war. You're not the only one who noticed this wealth, however, as priests from the cult of Market soon arrived demanding an audience. Hello? Our business is simple, Your Majesty. It has been known to the Church of Market for quite some time the Titanium Court has been operating without appropriate spiritual guidance, i.e. you do not have a bishop of Market among your upper management. In fact, as much as you can tell, you don't have any upper management at all. Yeah, we have a lateral structure. Yes, despite drawing power from Market, you don't have any executives, a board, or even a mission statement. Your cash flows are unoptimized, and you've sent no representatives to our corporate retreats. The court considers these infractions to be nothing short of fiscal heresy. Of course, we were willing to overlook all of this when the court is operating at a consistent loss, but now that it's profitable, they'd like a cut soon. A cut? Hardly. The opposite, in fact. The court of Market demands a merger. Worry not, our legal team will handle all of the paperwork. Your titles will remain unchanged, although we will provide a competent management team to oversee all operational decisions henceforth. You suppose you might as well ask what the consequences of your refusal would be. Futility. We're prepared to pursue a merger by force if necessary. Oh, you weren't aware that the court was listed on any sort of public index that would facilitate such a takeover. Could they tell you which one? Surprised by this question, the three of them huddle and confer for a few moments before addressing you again. Your Majesty is a shrewd negotiator. We've adjusted your offer as follows. To preserve the cultural leadership of Titanium Court, we now offer to prepare one of your existing courtiers to act as the court's spiritual guide. Whoever you choose will accompany us to our cathedral, where they will be trained and ultimately ordained as a fully fledged priest of Market. This offer certainly seems a bit more reasonable. It would be refused to send anyone unwilling to go. Would there really be someone among your courtiers who would really enter into the power of this sinister cult? The answer is yes. Of course it's Brian! Your Majesty, I've been thinking about getting my MBA for a while now. Please send me. You've absolutely no objections, and thus Leland, so that's his name, leaves with the cultists to go to business school. Pops in. Oh, this is my Fortune 499 guy. This is by the Fortune 499 guy. Yes. This is by the Fortune 999 guy. Morgan, hello. Morgan, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Whoops. Hubris! I'm acceptable? That's not enough fire. Come on. Whatever. We're just going with it. We're just gonna see what happens. Probably nothing, right? Because it's blocked by water. Yeah. Just... Great. You know what? We'll take it. I didn't interact with that egg, and that's a bummer, but... I hope you can be doing better than acceptable soon. I need more fire. I need more fire. I'm just going with it, you know what I mean? Like... Oh, that boat could reach me. Okay, that boat has more range than I thought it did. You know, sometimes in these sorts of games, you take what happens. A shoe. Tremendous sneaker housing a real estate agent. What? How do I interact with that? Well, you may have expected the giant shoe to be someone's personal residence. It actually contains a real estate office. By purchasing real estate, you lock tiles to the battlefield so they follow you in the next battle. Oh, that's right. That's right. Hey, I won't put you on fire. You're fine. It's not about playing optimally, it's about playing. Yeah, sometimes it's like, you know what if we just did the game? Okay, they should catch on fire. They should catch on fire. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You wake with a start as a cat leaps off your lap. Your legs seem to have fallen asleep. Oh, the potion of liking baseball's ready. And of course, if you think you can fly, start from the ground. Did I miss anything? Robin is expressionless as she measures out 3 individual glasses. I was under the impression this potion did not induce hallucinations. On the surface, perhaps, but dear Robin, any fundamental change to your personality is a trip. Even something as innocuous as liking baseball. You wait in your sitting chamber as Robin finishes measuring out 3 glasses from the potion of liking baseball. Your magical scholars, Stip Steady Hall and Hop Turnstile, have volunteered to accompany you on your first foray into the world of love potions. For research, so they say. Robin has likewise volunteered to remain sober in order to keep an eye on the 3 of you. How familiar are you with this baseball, Your Majesty? I'm guessing you know a bit about it. Given your willingness to like it, perhaps... Stop! Skipping around. If you're to properly fulfill your role as control group, you shouldn't speak of baseball until the potion has already started to take effect. Right, of course! He turns to you. You must understand, Your Majesty, I currently know nothing of baseball. I'm fascinated to discover what it means to like something I have no knowledge of. The measuring done, Robin hands you a small glass of purple fluid. Yeah, people on YouTube do it all the time, so you're fine. Tentatively, you down the glass. The taste is faintly sweet and rich, with a powerful aftertaste of honey. Your companions down theirs as well. They say in unison, "Oops!" And now, says Robin, and now you wait. The label claims it takes at least an hour to take effect. And so as the seed of a new love begins to inch its way through your digestive system, you await its arrival. All right. Look here, I do believe the artists pull a fast one on us. How so? Look closely, they've neglected to paint their subjects athletic shorts. You're correct, how strange. Even stranger, the shorts are still clearly part of the painting, despite not being painted. Expect this is a useful technique for saving paint. Undoubtedly. Let's go have breakfast. Every time. Given that you no desire or qualifications to be queen, you propose instead to abdicate your position. Abdicate is it even possible for Her Majesty to do such a thing? Such an action will leave our system of governance in tatters. You must not. Yes, well, you must first help them establish a new form of government, something more equitable than a monarchy, at least. Like a democracy, or perhaps a democratic republic. I can foresee a very smooth transition to such an arrangement. Really? How so? Well, under popular rule, we would simply elect Her Majesty to a permanent position of ultimate authority. You sigh. You're not going to bother abdicating if they're just planning to immediately elect you to the same position. Such tyranny, our dreams of liberty die on the vine. Oh, well. As a result of being breakfast, I got some stone. Great. Well. Let's have extra hit points and some money. I wonder if that event still successfully took place. You know? You look towards the stump in the distance. A lone figure appears to be holding a sign. Oh, we should sign up, Your Majesty. The court is terrible at defending itself. You suppose 1 gold isn't that much? You could spare it to meanly satiate your own curiosity. That's right, I have the honor of being Sensei's #1 disciple. That doesn't mean anything, kid. Please stop calling me that. The instructor turns to you. It's your first time here, right? Let me explain how this works. Basically, each lesson, I'm gonna give you 1 card for self-defense, and I'll tell you how to use it. The thing you gotta know is I'm not always gonna be there to give you cards. If you really wanna defend yourself, you're gonna need to find your own cards. Here's self-defense. Step 1, take this gun. Question, Sensei, where can we find cards? Haven't you been coming here for years, kid? You tell me. Sensei's answers produce so many meanings. True understanding still eludes me. All right, kid, it's not a riddle. Normally you find self-defense cards in shops or chests. Got it? You nod. Shops, chests. Anyway, why don't you start by choosing a card? All right, what do we got here? Archer Outpost. Driller. Knight. Shield. And Thorns. Okay, let's take a shield. Like that idea. Classic self-defense tool. Basically, if you have shields up, your court won't take damage till they're gone. But shields are temporary, so any remaining at the end of the battle are gonna disappear. That means the tricky part is figuring out how many you should use. Think about it this way, if you rage a bunch of shields but then don't take enough damage, you just wasted some stone. Question, Sensei, how can we predict how much damage you're going to take? I don't know, just develop a feel for it. I see, as always I need more training. Also, there are other cards out there that'll give you shields when you meet certain conditions. Keep an eye out for them. That's the lesson, go give those shields a try. Well, I'm not taking any damage. So let's start a fire. Lyrics! Lyrics, good morning. Oh, birds. The court pulls up with what signs to be a large and impressive toll booth. From the large and impressive toll booth emerges a large and impressive goat. He gives the court a quick look over the motions towards the sign. The sign reads, toll schedule, 1 axle, 2 axles, ferry court, 4 gold. Your Majesty, it appears to be a dire goal. I would recommend paying the toll if we have the means. Yes, they can get aggressive if we don't do what we want. Yeah, hey, listen, we'll pay the toll. With a small bit of resentment, you fork over the cash. The goat nods and lifts the barrier for what it's worth. He'll now join your side in battle. Fuck yeah, let's go! Curious symbol, a magical glyph of some kind, though I'm unfamiliar with its meaning. It appears to outlaw the letter P, yet it prevents me not from proclaiming provocations pertaining to the presence of P in any of my pronunciations. Perhaps one of our scholars make of it. Hop answers the call. You are correct, it is a simple magical word, but it is one of mortal origin. Perhaps Your Majesty would care to explain to us. He winks at you and retreats from the conversation. Put on the spot, you tentatively explain that the sign is attempting to prevent anyone from parking an automobile within its vicinity. Recorders appear to be highly amused by the explanation. Some of them even laugh out loud. So it's supposed to be warding off cars. Cars? A strange new mortal superstition, similar to an ogre or a troll, but made of metal. I think I've heard of that. It's a bit nostalgic, is it not? Mortals used to use their magic to ward off fairies. Yes, I remember it almost never worked, but it's probably less of a waste of time than this. Quite. After all, at least fairies exist. Seeing the look on your face, he backtracks a bit. No offense is intended, Your Majesty. I'm certain if cars were real, this ward would be doing a fine job. Whoops. Oh, fuck, a birdhouse, but it's empty. So that's good. Have I found the Fae that took my attention yet? Not yet. Just fucking light everything on fire, man. Fuck it. Fuck it, man. Burn it all down. Oh, I didn't know that guy was gonna make a thing. I would have put some shields up. All right. With the toll paid and the battle weathered, the dire goat gives you a nod before returning to his toll booth and drifting away with the tide. A rather large jar. Among the detritus gathered into the tide, a large and imposing jar floats into view. Upon catching sight of it, Robin groans. Your Majesty, I advise you steer the court away from that thing. But the other courtiers object. Nay, Robin, such advice is an error. We must steal closer to the jar should we ever hope to open it. Robin explains her reasoning. Every time we wage war in proximity of that jar, our soldiers neglect the battle in favor of attempting to open it. We're still making progress. Surely by now we've at least put a dent in it. The decision is yours, Your Majesty, but if we must attack the jar, let's at least do so when the court is relatively safe. Ah. Oh, the fire isn't doing near as much damage as I wanted. I really wanted that fire to do more damage. Open the jar! Oh, earn at least 30 gold, thereby attracting the attention of the cult of market. Oh, good. Okay, we did that. Not long after encountering the previous toll, you happen upon a second toll booth. From within the second booth emerges a second goat. All right, bro, you know the drill. Cross the bridge, pay the toll. Toll today's 8. Chop, chop. It's considerably higher than the previous toll. Are you expected to believe that prices changed so suddenly? Listen, lady, my booth's old and rusty. This thing isn't gonna open unless you grease it a little bit, if you get what I'm saying. You sigh. Unfortunately, you do get what he's saying. All right, listen, I got money. There we go. That's more like it, bro. This sucks. A gift shop advertises immortal souvenirs. Seeing a strange new shop on the battlefield, you make a brief excursion to check it out. Desire runs thick. You briefly imagine yourself in an elementary school field trip, enamored of objects that would have no appeal to you under normal circumstances. Indeed, much of the inventory here is useless or merely decorative. The promise of leaving with something of permanence still pulls you. After you spent a few minutes browsing, the man behind the counter greets you. Hello again, your majesty. Fancy a souvenir? Can you assume he works multiple jobs or has simply changed employers multiple times over the course of your acquaintance? The answer to your question is yes. Anyway, you're gonna shop here, you must know we don't accept money, only tickets. So in truth, this list of a gift shop more it is a prize counter. Can you assume these tickets are earned from playing mini games? Not at all. You can buy them at that machine right over there. Each ticket costs 1 gold. So if that's the case, I can't help but wonder why they don't just accept money as payment. That's because I don't touch this stuff. Money's against my religion. But also, tickets are permanent. You won't lose them when you go to sleep or lose a war. They make for a great investment. Been trying to get my friends and family on it for years. It does sound useful. Can you also exchange tickets for money? Nope. Anyway, here's some souvenirs that would be perfect for a fairy queen like yourself. All right, listen, we've got a good amount of money. So... defensive claimant job. Unlock the fire archer. A missing key. The remote lets you change the channel during the weather report. Unlock the moat card. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Stop me if you've heard this one. Card unlocked. You receive a complimentary copy of the card. Oh, that's nice. Celebrity. Defensive job. Build up a fan base you must avoid at all costs. That's very funny. We'll see if we survive. We'll see how it goes. You know? Hello? Sooner than you might have hoped, the courtier named Leland has returned from the cathedral of that dread deity known as Market. Oh, nice. What? Leland is growing as a person and professional? Congratulations! Leland has evolved into Business Leland. Your Majesty, my eyes have been open to the truth all along. The court has been going about this war the wrong way. But now with the priest of Market on your advisory board, I'm sure we can right this ship. Get a job. You've unlocked a boundless potential for growth and prosperity. Oh my God, we've unlocked capitalism. Business. You didn't tell me this was a monster collector? It's, well, it's a monster collector in that Leland got an MBA and is thus a monster. Lock that back up. Put it away. Put it away. Lock it. Oh my God. Ha, beautiful. Can we defenestrate that nerd? Wrong game. All right, it's gonna go how it's gonna go. Matt, your house is on fire? It's okay, I'm immune to fire. I really feel like when they attack me, they should take fire damage. Like, okay. Like a cartoon rabbit burrowing through the earth, you suspect you may have taken a wrong turn somewhere recently. Perhaps you have time for another shower. Sure, you know, why not? People of the court believe in a great many things, in magic and science, in the power of words and metaphor, and beauty and poetry. They believe in superstitions, and they believe in the morning news. They believe in the tooth fairy, the colon fairy, and the toenail fairy. Wait a minute. One thing they do not believe in, to your perpetual astonishment, is cars. Once again, stepping back and forth, being immune to fire and covering yourself in fire is a great tactic. As you gradually deduce, the people of the court consider cars, as in automobiles, as in motor vehicles, to be a baffling delusion of mortals. You've attempted to explain to them that you, along with every mortal of your acquaintance, have interacted with cars many times. You've countless memories of riding in such contraptions since childhood, of driving them, of paying monthly insurance premiums, etc. Right, this is the sort of thing we frequently hear from mortals despite all evidence to the contrary. Our current working theory is that a powerful sorcerer placed a very specific curse upon the entirety of mortality. Don't worry, your majesty, we would never judge you for believing in cars. Yes, all of us carry a curse or two. Believing in cars is a fairly harmless one. It's nothing to be ashamed of. So they say, but you can't help but notice some of your courtiers snickering whenever the subject arises. It's a very funny thing to be like, oh no, cars are fake. Ooh, someone's left a book of magic. You're wandering through the libraries of the court when you come across a book abandoned on a table. Normally, this wouldn't be out of the ordinary, The court has no lack of books, many of which are fruitlessly opened in an attempt to make sense of your situation. The title of this book, however, catches your eye. Magic Words. You know the court to be a place of magic since your arrival, yet any details about the nature or practice of this magic remains elusive. Until now, perhaps? Showing little hesitation, you open the book to the first page and begin to read. The book contains a list of phrases, all of them coherent, but seemingly unrelated. Phrases like, "My name is Magnus von Braun, my brother invented the V2, we want to surrender." Or, at trial, they will face a Philadelphia jury. The Philadelphia jury sounds like something. Now that you know the difference between right and wrong, it's time to give you a gun. That Brian wrote this. What the fuck? After large storms, strange birds emerge in new places. Or, it is now safe to turn off your computer. They don't appear to be instructions on the use or application of these magic words, if that is what they really are. You try speaking a few of these phrases aloud. Nothing happens. 12 gritties in a suit. Under the heading Potential Chance, you find this phrase. Exacto knife, not quite-o knife, dead wrong-o knife, spoon. This time there's a handwritten annotation in the margins, most potent when repeated rhythmically plus crescendo. You follow the annotations, begin the chant at a whisper, steadily rising. Well, somebody's chilling. You only make it to conversational volume before a voice interjects. My apologies, Your Majesty, but that's not going to have much of an effect. None of those words are part of a spell yet. Startled, you shut the book quickly and look up. The voice belongs to Skip, the quieter of your two scholars. They're all quite powerful, but their context is missing. But Your Majesty is a mortal, correct? I've heard mortals are particularly sensitive to this sort of magic. I'd expect any spell you bound to these words might be pretty intense, possibly even dangerous. You suppose it's a good thing you don't actually know any spells then. You don't? That seems pretty unlikely. But if you'd like to learn, I'm happy to teach. Just drop by my office sometime. You can find it by wandering around the library looking for a bathroom. Matt immediately running to magic room. Yeah, listen, you give me the ability to learn magic. Guess where I'm going? At breakfast, you ask your courtiers about any previous queens of the court they might remember. Perhaps if you learned of the history of the crown, you might determine why you now possess it. To your mild, but not unexpected surprise, they're perplexed by the question. Another queen? Did we keep a spare? Strikes me as exceedingly decadent. You'll have to ask Goodfellow. He's the only one here with institutional memory. Yeah, so you've gathered. As a result of eating breakfast, you get a small bonus. Great. Thank you. The time since you last went to war, a new job has been available to the court, specifically the business job. Oh, let's look out the window. There appears to be a bike race proceeding along the inside of the court's inner walls. Whoa! Whoa! Neat! Great. What do we got here? Business. Receive money solely through trade. Fear not, a market is always within reach. We got a farmer and an angler. Using ancient magic transforms water into food. All right. Leland, the newly minted chief economist of the court, proposes a new approach to the war. You suppose you could at least hear him out? Your Majesty, I'm simply thrilled that you're considered a pious approach to this war. As a newly ordained priest of market, allow me to be your guide through the transcendental world of business. First things first, while following the path of business, the path of market, the court will not earn money by destroying the enemy. That is because followers of market do not have jobs, they create jobs. To compensate for the lack of standard wages, market itself will provide the church with funds. No need to seek out market on the battlefield. With business job, market is always available. The mechanisms of this divine interpretation are quite complex, but I am you stop him there. You've interacted with market before, primarily by buying and selling resources. Anything is about to describe meaningfully different from those interactions. Technically, no, but you must understand it is merely a vast simplification of the glory that is market. You'll listen to his detailed explanations at a later date. For now, you'd like to get started on the war. Trickle down war? Ugh. Psychic damage. Ooh. Yeah, hey, basic income. And 10 hit points. All right. Okay, cool. Let's get more self-defense lessons. Okay, Thorns is good. Knight is good. We're gonna take a Knight. It's a great choice for beginners. Knights are pretty similar to soldiers, but instead of wandering off, they stick close to your court and defend it. They're also tough. One Knight can easily defeat 2 to 3 soldiers without any help. You need a lot of food to deploy them. Also, you need to deploy new Knights every battle if you want to keep using them. Sensei, when you speak of deploying, what could this mean? Means you need more training, kid. Damn. Flaming Hot Archer. All right, well, only, mattcaulder, don't forget to take care of yourself with a break. Yes, thank you, D. God, this would be a great map for fire. I guess the idea is that you want to have a bunch of, you want to get a bunch of resources. Oh my God, the jar. You see, even Her Majesty agrees we're making progress. The jar is yet to be opened. Not you two, Your Majesty. Don't encourage them. No, we're getting that fucking jar. Okay, look at this. No bad guys. Oh, I can just click it down here. Yeah, so I can sell all my access food if I want more money. We're gonna go to the market. We're gonna buy more food and wood so that I can make another archer. I just try to fuck this dude up with fire arrows. Please. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go. We opened the jar. Suddenly, amid the chaos of battle, a deafening pop, followed by silence. All combatants, both your side and the enemy's, put down their weapons and look towards the jar. The jar that, as it happens, has just been successfully opened. From within the jar emerges an aroma. You can't immediately identify the smell, but there's something familiar, something that unlocks memories of another time and place. Springtime, moderate humidity, classes are winding down. and the new warmth is rekindling the smell baked into the walls of your residence hall. You're about to move out and are looking at a period of 2 to 3 weeks before you can move into your new place. You have couches you can sleep on, but most of your earthly possessions will need to reside elsewhere for this period. As you lock them away in a relatively affordable storage unit, you feel something indescribable. A shining, for lack of a better term. Oh no, the shinin. Unburdened, untethered, unanchored. The only thing keeping you from floating away is the small key to the storage unit you hold in your hand. The key that you find yourself staring at now, here in the present. Oh my god. Wait, where'd that come from? You found it in the jar, Your Majesty. Oh. Is there anything else in there? Nope. A curse is lifted. On this day, the Queen of Titanium Court did unburden her people of the curse of resistance, and there was jubilation. Ah, I see. In this row, we have the storage unit. Ah. That's what this means. Because we have the jar, and then now here, we have the storage unit. Okay. I'm gonna take my break. This rules. This is great. I love this. This is, God, just, you know, sometimes video games are good. Sometimes video games are good. I don't understand all these people playing all these bad video games. Video games are good. I don't know what people are doing. Yeah, I'm gonna take my break. I'm gonna go grab my snack, check in with Aaron, refill my tea, all that good stuff. When I get back, we'll do our games. We'll do more Titanium Court, because this game rules. I was talking with my dad. His workplace is talking about our parking prices. Well, it sounds like they were ridiculous, so that's not that surprising. So yeah. If you haven't recently, make sure you get up, move around, have a snack, have a meal if you haven't had breakfast, get some caffeine, make sure you're staying hydrated, all that good stuff. Like I said, when I get back, we'll do our games, then more of this. I'll see you back here in just a little bit.